Ricky Roma, Al Pacino's character, makes a sale to James Link, guy that he hits up, sees him drink alone in the bar, sells him some property. Then James comes back the next day and says, we got a little problem. So let's run this clip now.
For Mr. Morton, will you tell him he's on the 1 o'clock? I'll see you. Oh, I'm sorry you came all the way in. I'm running away to the airport. You wait here and I'll... No, I can't. I'm meeting your man at the back. I wish you'd have phoned. What? All right, wait. Are you and Ginny going to be home tonight?
I don't know.
Rick, what?
Kenilworth.
I'm sorry.
Kenilworth.
Oh, God. Excuse me, Ray, just a minute. Jim, I told you who he is. The senior vice president of American Express. His family owns 32... Over the past years, I have sold him, I can't tell you the dollar amount, but quite a lot of land. I promised him 5 weeks ago that I would go to the wife's birthday party in Kenilworth tonight. I have to go. You understand? I mean, it's something I have to. They treat me like a member of the family. I have to go. It's funny, you know, you get a picture of the corporation-type company man, all business. This guy, I have to tell you, we'll go to his house someday. Let me see. Tomorrow. I'm in L.A.? Monday. I'll take you to lunch. Where would you like to eat?
My wife's...
Hey, Ray! I can't talk now, Jim. I'll call you tonight, all right? Sorry. I'm coming, Ray.
My wife said I have to cancel a deal.
It's a common reaction, Jim. And let me tell you what it is, and I know that that's why you married her. One of the reasons is prudence. No, it's a sizable investment. One thinks twice. It's also something women have. Reaction to the size of the investment. Monday, you invite me to dinner again. I mean, this woman can cook.
Oh, I'm sure she can.
We're gonna talk, because I want to tell you something. Something about your acreage I want you to know. I can't talk about it here, and I really shouldn't. And by law, the man next to you bought his lot at 42. He phoned to say he already had an offer.
Rick!
I'm coming, Ray. What a day. I'll call you this evening. Jim, I'm sorry I had to come all the way in. I'm sorry. Monday lunch.
We really have to go.
All right, Monday.
She called the consumer, the attorney, I don't know, the attorney general. They said we have 3 days.
Who'd she call?
The attorney, it was some consumer office.
Why'd she do that, Jim?
I don't know. But they said we have 3 days. They said we got 3 days, yeah.
3 days?
To, you know.
No, I don't know. Tell me.
Well, to change our minds.
Of course you have. 3 days.
Oh, so we can't talk Monday.
Monday, you saw my book. Jim, I can't. You saw my book. I can't.
Yeah, but we have to before Monday to get our money back.
3 business days, they mean. 3 business days.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I don't understand.
That's what they are. They're 3 business. Look, if we wait till Monday, my time limit runs out.
You don't count Saturday.
I'm not.
I'm saying you don't include Saturday in 3 days. It's not a business day.
I am not counting it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so it would have elapsed.
What would have elapsed?
If we wait till Monday, it would have elapsed.
When did you write the check?
Yesterday.
What was yesterday?
Tuesday.
And when was that check cashed?
I don't know.
Well, what was the earliest that it could have been cashed?
I don't know.
Today? Today? Which in any case it was not, as there was something on the agreement I wanted to go over with you, in any case.
It wasn't cashed.
I just phoned downtown. It's on their desk.
Yeah, Rick?
One moment. One point, in fact, of which I spoke to you, of which I can't talk to you about it here.
Levine.
Now, let me...
Well, listen,
Now, listen to me. Oh. The statute is for your protection. I have no complaint with that. In fact, I was a member of the board when we drafted it. So quite the opposite. It says you can change your mind 3 working days from the time the deal was closed.
Levine.
Which, wait a second, which is not until the check is cashed.
Put this, Mr. Gus.
So Matt, ultimately, this scene with Ricky Roma, played by Al Pacino, and James Link, is about buyer's remorse. Sold him the day before, got him to sign on the line which is dotted.
Right.
Customer comes back and says, made a mistake. We're going to have to rip that contract up. This is a really important concept that, quite frankly, we've never talked about after a couple hundred episodes, which is really buyer's remorse.
Right.
When this happens to you, kind of personally, professionally, you've probably been on both sides, how would you think about bringing somebody back, kind of pulling them back and saying, hey, I understand this is buyer's remorse. Here's how we're going to handle this from a salesperson's perspective.
I think just like the scene, you have to figure out why he's having buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
number one, I don't think it benefits anybody if you just say, it doesn't matter. It's done. What's done is done.
Right.
Call it a day.
And what do you mean? Either saying, all right, hey, I'll rip up the contract, or saying, no, you sign and you're screwed either way.
Yeah, I don't think any of us as sales guys want to ever rip up the contract. You know,
Correct.
sometimes there are guys, you know, maybe your first reaction is like, you signed a contract.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
Have a nice day. I think you have to figure out why he's having this remorse. What is making him not happy about this deal? In this scene, obviously, it's the wife, right? In our business in sales, maybe our competitor came through with a late offer that he's like, oh, I didn't know that was on the table. I should have taken that. Can I get out of this?
Right.
So you have to drive and figure out what's really going on behind the scenes and figure out how you can resolve that. Whether it be, you know, maybe you give a little back. I mean, you don't want to lose a sale. You do not want to lose a contract. Right. And at the same time, you want to make him feel good about doing business with you and doing business going forward, right? You just don't want to lock him in and beat on him. Yep. So,
well, and I think what Pacino does and his character does really well is he keeps saying, what is it? Tell me again.
Yeah,
Tell me again.
Driving
and what
for
he's
that
doing
answer.
is,
and
a lot of times this happens. People, and he does. James Link, he feels embarrassed. He feels ashamed. He says, I'm sorry.
Right.
You know, I didn't mean to do this to you. And what Pacino does is he's like, I'm not settling for the first BS answer you give me, which is, I'm sorry, it's my wife.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to get to the thing behind the thing. I want to go to the root cause.
Right.
And for him, it's this power disparity, right? The lack of status in this guy's relationship with his wife, right? And you see Pacino say, we're going to address this, right? Just forget the contract. Let's talk about you.
Let's talk about.
And obviously, it's cinema, right? How often can you say, let's set the contract aside. Let's talk about your personal relationship with your wife.
Right.
That's a tough transition to make. They do it in the movie, but I love that where he's like, dude, we're going to get to I don't need you to tell me. How do you navigate around that when sometimes, quite deliberately, the person doesn't want to tell you the real reason?
I think a lot of times there's an art in being silent, right?
What do you mean by that?
If you sit back, if you ask questions, like he keeps hammering them, I don't think that's ever been my style.
Yeah.
I think if you sit back and let people talk, they'll get there.
Yeah.
Like they'll tell you why they're having this remorse at some point.
Yeah.
You just have, again, you have to learn, and it's not comfortable. It takes time to get used to, but you have to learn when to sit back, be quiet, and let the customer tell you actually what's going on. It might take them a while to get around to it, and they might hem and haw, and it's my wife, and it's this, and it's that.
Right.
But at some point, and you got to be a good listener too, right? You're going to find those nuggets, and you're going to be like, and you'll be able to come back with rhetorical questions and be like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really your wife. What's really going on here?
Right.
Yeah, it's this, you know, and that's one thing I think salespeople lack a lot of times is being comfortable in the silence, being able to just sit back, be quiet, let the customer get to where they need to go in their time. You know, I've had many dead spots in meetings, but it's just, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and there's this other scene with Jack Lemmon when he closes the people, or he thinks he does, and he says, puts the contract, and he says, I want you to sign this contract now. And then he said, we stood there in silence and stared at each other for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And I think salespeople.
But it was a bogus deal.
It was a bogus deal. But I think to your point, people, if you have like 4 count of legitimate silence and there's tension in the room, that 4 seconds for salespeople will feel like a minute and a half. It'll feel like
it'll feel like an eternity.
Right. And what do we want to do? We want to fill that void.
Right.
And
that's not what you
want
should do.
You want to embrace that.
Right.
Let that do the work, because they're probably feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you just jump in there and run your mouth, because that's what salespeople do,
right,
you're losing an opportunity there. But I think this is part of this is human nature. That's why it's hard.
Yeah.
People have to be consistently told, just let that sit. And my guess is when you're doing a lot of these calls with young salespeople, you're getting a lot of those reps to be like right there. Hey, at that, 20 minutes through, just sit back, just shut up,
Yeah.
Let them answer. And even if they're struggling, let them answer. Let them speak.
Let them struggle.
Yeah.
Because they're going 100 miles an hour in their head.
Right.
They're trying to figure out what they're trying to say to you. Let them just get it out. Try and get everything on the table so you know the whole picture.
Yeah.
And you know how to drive the sale home. I mean, the guy's got remorse. Everybody's got remorse. I've bought stuff that I have remorse about.
Yeah.
I'm sure people have bought things from me that they have remorse about. I mean, we've had meetings, like I said before, where competitors have gone in and undercut me after we already signed a deal.
Right.
And the guy's like, listen, my owner, my president, I can't, he wants me to do this. And well, okay, tell me more about how we can make this right.
Yeah.
Like, we've already done the deal, but if I need to do something to move the needle to make you look better, to make your owner happy, and like say, we're all relationship sales, let's do that. So yeah, just sit back, be quiet, and listen to what they have to say.
Well, this kind of goes to a little bit of customer service, but also in your example there, sometimes as salespeople, we take it upon ourselves to feel like, all right, I gotta be the hero. I gotta solve this. I gotta figure out the solution, and I don't know all the information. And sometimes I'll say is, don't be so hard on yourself.
Right.
They might already have in their mind the solution here. And hey, we signed the deal. We did that yesterday, Matt. You're right. We got another offer. It's 6% lower. You're putting me in a tight spot. Instead of saying, all right, let me see what I can do. Now we're haggling over price. I'll say is, hey, what would have to be true for you guys to feel comfortable, understanding you signed a contract yesterday with us,
Right.
feel good moving forward that you and I are working together.
Yeah.
And they might say, tell you what, we feel bad about this. Maybe it's 2%. All right. Well, now that's different, right? Now at least they're presenting, a potential solution that you can then kind of riff off of.
Right.
I want to ask you, it got me thinking, when he keeps going back, he says, hey, tell me again. And then he keeps going. You have a story that I thought was really powerful where he said, customer or prospect says, hey, tell me this again. And you were like, no.
Yeah. No.
So walk us through that story, because I think that was powerful.
Yeah. So we had a customer, I've been trying to sell for probably about 4 years, and it's a really good guy, great relationship, got along. His current supplier has never done him wrong, which, hey, I never negative sell. If the guy,
Right.
good competition, taking care of you, everything's great, that's fine. So we sat down and we had lunch, and he said, we're about to go play golf. And he says to me, tell me again why I should go to you guys. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like, I've been in every other month telling you why you should come with us.
Yeah.
And we had like 4 people at the table. And I'm like, I'm not doing it again. And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, we're not going through this again. Like, every reason why you should be with us.
Yeah.
Now, if you choose to stay with your current supplier because you like them, I have no beef with that. I was like, I will come back here. We will play golf. We will drink beers. We'll have a good time. And we went out and played golf that day. We're having a couple beers, and I looked at him, and I'm like, listen, I'm bored. Golf is a boring sport. I love golf, but it's boring. Anybody who knows me knows that I love to gamble. So I'm like, let's go $5 a hole and get after this. And he's like, I'm all in. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm like, all right. So we started playing. We're kind of going back and forth even. We get to like the 16th hole, and he's like, so when should I make the switch? And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to be very honest with you. I would love you to switch right now. Market is tight. You do not want to screw up your supply chain. Take care of yourself.
Yep.
And when you're ready to go, we'll go. We'll be there for you. And probably about a month ago, you started flipping over.
And just curious, what was the time gap between that conversation and when he called back and says, hey, I'm ready?
It's about 3 months.
Okay.
About 3 months. I mean, steel market's super tight.
Yeah.
Can't get supply.
Yeah.
To your point, other suppliers are not taking on new customers in that market. So I wanted to make sure he was taken care of. And I was like, I could do the thing here and say, do it now.
Right.
And then you're going to hate me 3 months from now.
Yes.
You got to do it when it's right for you, and then we'll flip it.
Well,
And he started to do that.
Well, and I think that's number one. I think there's power in saying, you and I both know this thing, but I think a lot of salespeople are like, All right. I go back into sales mode. Let me break down back in the napkin math. Let me tell you all the features and benefits, right?
Yeah.
You said, no, you know everything you need to know.
Right.
That's not the thing, right?
Yeah.
There's something else, and it's obvious. That's fine, right? You got a good relationship.
Yeah. Oh, he's built a great company with this competitor of mine.
Yeah.
He's built a great company, does very well. It's not an easy decision for him.
Right.
And I'm not going to hard sell him into that decision. And I'm not going to blow my voice out telling him all the time why he should come with us. Either you want to come with us because you see the benefit and the value and the innovation and everything we bring to you,
Right.
or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. But I'll be here. That's my whole point. If his current supplier falls, I just want him to know I'm going to be there. Yeah, I said I'm going to play golf and drink beers with you.
Yeah.
But I'll be there. And he's a good friend. So it works out. You don't have to be like on guys all the time.
Right.
You have to be patient. You have to realize that it takes time.
Well,
I mean, there's a certain dance within the sales process, right?
Yeah.
And you've got to figure it out.